What is going on, everyone? Hello, and welcome into another edition of the Brooklyn Boys Show. I am your host, Connor Long. Welcome in, everyone, right here on this Saturday, July 5th, 2025. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July. Hope everyone had a great barbecue, saw some great fireworks. That's what 4th of July is all about. And then, as always, our incredible country. So appreciate you all, as always, joining us the day after a national holiday right here on the Brooklyn Boys Show. And today we are joined by a very special guest, becoming a regular here on this show. You all know him from his great podcast, the BK Nothing But Nets podcast. Gary is kind enough to grace us with his presence right here on the program. Gary, how you doing?
Doing good. It's good to be on with you again. It's been a few days, so
it has. I really appreciate you hopping on. We got a ton of guests coming up right here on this show, a ton of new insight that'll be floated around. So smash that like button, hit subscribe. That's a free way to help us grow, and it really does help us grow significantly. Find out about all the guests that we're having on. Big name Tim McMahon kicks us off on Monday, so stay tuned for all the guests. Stay tuned for all the insights or your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat for Gary and I. We will get to those shortly, but I think we have to start off with the biggest news that pretty much dropped last night, that the Nets have shown interest in Jonathan Kuminga as a sign and trade option. This news came way of Anthony Slater from The Athletic. Now, there were a lot of talks, because Jonathan Kuminga is a restricted free agent. There were a lot of talks about Kuminga hitting the open market and just signing with the team. Now it's looking like the Golden State Warriors are going to want to sign him and then trade him. We heard in the report that they want a young player and a first-round pick. When everyone saw that, I think that screamed Cam Thomas sign and trade as well. Cam Thomas and a first-round pick for Kuminga. I don't think that makes any sense, though. Like, I know you're a big Kuminga fan. I like Kuminga as a player. I think he can fit in a lot of different offenses. I don't want to give a guy $100 million over 4 years who I don't know how he fits in my rotation. There's not enough roster space for him, and that's the bottom line. That's the final boss that I've came down to with every single free agent available. I've talked about coming to Brooklyn.
I think there's a decent. I mean, it's going to depend what else is out there and how much they sign him for. I mean, what do you guys think Kuminga is worth in the open market? I say $30 million. And some people said, yeah, sounds good. Some people will say that's absolutely ridiculous. He's never done anything in the NBA. And they're not wrong. He's never had a near all-star season. He's never been an all-star caliber player. So when you trade for him, you're strictly trading for him on upside. He hasn't done it yet. Like he at times couldn't crack the rotation for Golden State last year. I want him. I would bring him in. As far as the asking, I told you this when we got Michael Porter Jr. I think Michael Porter Jr. is going to be here longer than Cam Thomas. I like Cam Thomas. I would love to keep Cam Thomas. I don't think the organization feels the same way about Cam Thomas that you and I do. And, you know, their opinion carries more weight than ours does, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if Golden State is interested in Cam Thomas. Like, if you're not, I'll give you Nick Claxton. You want Claxton?
I mean, it could work. I just think in a sign and trade, it wouldn't make sense to me if the Nets. Who do you think the Nets would give up in a sign and trade? That's my question to you. It couldn't be
Cam Thomas.
See, I think Cam Thomas is a far better basketball player than Jonathan Kuminga, and you're tying a first-round pick into it.
Yeah, I'm not. You're not getting it. I'll give you some twos, maybe. I'm not. You might want that. I'm not giving you Cam Thomas as a first rounder.
Do you think Jonathan Kuminga is better than Cam Thomas?
He's a more all-around player. It depends on what my needs are right now. Like, who's going to help?
You need a scorer, though. You need a finisher. Like you don't have a scorer right now if you give away Cam Thomas. If Cam Thomas doesn't come back, who's your scorer?
No one. You got no one to create anything. Yeah, I agree.
If Cam Thomas is not on this team, they're scoring 85 points a game. That's the bottom line. Like,
I agree. There's no one that can create. There's no
one. Like I like the option. I like that Yegor Demon's here to create space for others, but he can't shoot. He can't shot create. MPJ can get you 15 points per game. Awesome. Cam Thomas is the scorer, though. Like, if you get rid of Cam Thomas, you're not scoring over 100 points per game. That's the bottom line. I think you need Cam Thomas on this team to be the lead scorer. That's what Yossi Gosling, great guest yesterday, NBA salary cap analyst, came on. He said, from a financial standpoint, he doesn't think it would make sense for the Nets to keep Cam Thomas. My response was, first off, there's no market for Cam Thomas, so he's not going anywhere. So even if the Nets aren't in love with Cam Thomas, they could still give him a cheap 1-year deal, and he'll probably ultimately have to fall back to Brooklyn. That said, you move on from Cam Thomas. You don't have a scorer. You need a scorer. I think Cam Thomas is being undervalued right now in the eyes of some pundits.
No, I said this too, right? Cam Thomas' ability to score from anywhere on the basketball court, anywhere from the logo to the paint, Cam Thomas is a threat to score. There's not a ton of players. There's maybe 10, 12 guys in the league that can score like that, and Cam Thomas is one of them. That's a valuable, that's a valuable asset. Now, I know that's really all he does. That's just, Cam Thomas can do three things. He can score, and score, right? But he can score. He can score from anywhere on a basketball court. And like on a playoff team, on a good team, if you can't get a bucket, you can bring Cam Thomas in and he's going to get you a bucket, right? Like,
yeah,
he's got value to a good team, and on a bad team like the Nets, he's all we got, right? He's going to score 30 a night. Seriously, if we let Cam Thomas give him free reign, let him play 35, 36 minutes a game, why can't he score 30 points? I'm being serious. Why can't he score 30 a night?
He can. I mean, he was averaging 24 points per game last year before injuries pretty much riddled his entire season. Like, Cam Thomas, this team, like, fans are undervaluing Cam Thomas right now, but fans are not going to realize the value of Cam Thomas until the Nets do eventually let him go, and they're scoring 85 points per game. Like, being
it's going to be ugly without him. Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
And, like, he can create space for himself. He can shoot the three ball. Jonathan Kuminga can get you rebounds. He can play scrappy defense. Can't shoot the ball. He shot the three ball, and I think on or a little less than a 30% clip last season. Like,
he shot it better in the past. He shot the ball better. Last year he did not shoot the three ball well. The problem is his 3-point percentage has gone down as the last couple of years. That's not a good sign from a younger player. You don't want it. You want that going up. It's been going down every year.
Gary, what are your thoughts on this comment here from Awesome LA, who says, I think his health is becoming a factor. I think people are looking at his injury history.
You talking about Cam Thomas or are you talking about Kuminga?
Talking about Cam Thomas.
Yeah, because Kuminga was healthy up until last year. But Cam Thomas, look, the guy is built like a fire hydrant. He's got these big muscular legs like Mike Tyson. He's going to pull hamstrings. It's unfortunate, but like a guy built like that with legs like that, you're cutting and moving, something's going to get pulled. I don't think the injury history is terrible, but you look at a guy built like that, he's going to have hamstring issues. Like, absolutely, that's a reality.
I mean, before this season, he certainly has dealt with injuries, but they weren't all that bad as seasons before this past year. 66 games, 57, 67 is rookie campaign. So it's not, and keep in mind, like the first 2 years, he was going back and forth between Long Island and Brooklyn. So he pretty much played all the opportunities that he had in Brooklyn. I just, like, what didn't make sense to me for a long time is the fact that the Nets have never really shown that they're enamored with Cam Thomas. Like, there would be games he'd score, especially under Jacques Vaughn. And I know Jacques Vaughn's no longer here, but this kind of roots back to Sean Marks. Like, Sean Marks has never really shown that he's enamored with Cam Thomas and his ability to shoot the three ball. Like, we'd see under Jacques Vaughn, like I said, as head coach, Cam Thomas would score 35 points and then literally not check into the next game. Yeah. Like, a lot of what the Nets feel with Cam Thomas, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you hit on an end of the first round guy with I think it was the 27th overall pick, something of that nature, and he thrives. He gets you over 20 points per game, and you don't have interest in retaining him on it sends the wrong message. It also, Cam Thomas deserves a long-term contract. That's my opinion. I think he deserves a long-term contract.
I do too. But the question is, the Nets aren't going to break the bank for him. So is he going to be willing to accept a long-term contract at $20 million a year? Like, if I was him, I may not take it. I may test free agency again next year. I might say, give me 1 year, $20 million. Let me play myself into a bigger contract. Let me stay healthy. Let me average 25 plus points a game, and let me test the market again next year. This is not a good year for free agency, right? Like, some years are good years for free agents. People got cap space. This year, no one's got any money besides the team you play for.
Exactly.
So they're going to strong arm you. and
And
that's
the
what they're
other thing,
doing.
the other thing I will throw in here regarding Cam Thomas is if you give him the 1 year, $13 million deal, he plays 70 games and he averages 25 points per game, which I think he's more than capable of doing. He's saying bye-bye next offseason. Like there's no chance in retaining him. Like you bet
Yeah.
on guys for what they've shown, but also what they could be. Cam Thomas has shown flashes of being the most dominant scorer in the league. I think you bet on that upside there. He has to get he's not going to get a long-term deal, but he most definitely deserves it, in my opinion. Lou says I need to have a full year of Cam Thomas with a real point guard. CT with Schroeder was held at hard to watch, but the Nets tried to make CT the point guard.
I wanted to have CT run the point guard for spells last year, not their starting point guard for 82 games, but let's see what it looks like. Let's see Cam Thomas. He's only 6'3", so having him play the 2, he's always going to be defensive liability. Let's see what it looks like. Can he run the point? If he's going to play 35 minutes a game, can he run the point 15 of those, right? Can he in essence be your backup point guard? When Schroeder went out, can Cam Thomas then run the point for him? And then when Schroeder comes back in, you put him back at the 2. Can he do that? Can he be a 1 and a 2? And he got hurt, and it was they did it in small doses. And everyone's like, oh, they did it. They do it for 3 minutes a game. They do it for 5 possessions, right? Like I wanted to see Cam Thomas run the point and see what it looks like. He became a better distributor and a better passer last year. Whatever you may say, you may say, well, he's still not good. Okay, he got better. He certainly did.
Absolutely. Brooklyn Go Crazy CJ says maybe Nolan, referring to who could be the lead scorer on this team. This guy, Nolan Traore, averaged over. I like Nolan. I think he's a good player. I didn't get the top 5 buzz. I don't understand that. I think he's back of the lottery, maybe outside the lottery pick, kind of where he fell, I think was fair value. I don't want to bet on an overseas prospect who averaged under 20 points per game to be my lead scorer and facilitator this season.
Yeah, I'm not betting on him being, maybe down the road, you're going to say the 19-year-old Traore is going to, score 20 a night for us. I'm going to raise an eyebrow at that, yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope he does. I hope he comes in the league and he averages 20 a game. That'd be great.
That's the hope, man. You hope Yegor Demon could shoot 50% from 3-point range. You just don't see it happening. I think every rookie in this draft class brings something different to the table, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see because we're going to see all 5 of the Nets draft picks in the summer league. So I want to break down the Nets summer league roster that was actually just released today. Let's pull up the picture right here on the screen. There it is, the Nets summer league roster. So you see there Terry Roberts, Drake Powell, Yegor Demon, Tyson Etienne, Tosan Iwoma, Grant Nelson, Tyrese Samuel, Danny Wolf, Nolan Traore, Drew Timme, Caleb Daniels, Nick Ongenda, DeAndre Davis, Quincy Olivari, TJ Bamba, and Ben Saraf. So all 5 draft picks on the roster. No Dariq Whitehead, no Noah Clowney. The two players who signed the 2-way contracts in Tosan Iwoma and Tyson Etienne. Drew Timme, you exercise this team option. Thoughts here, Gary, on the summer league roster? What are some players you're going to look out for?
Well, Whitehead and Clowney are third-year players, so they can't be in the summer league anymore.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
I did not pick up on
that. Some of these names, good for them. They get to wear the Nets uniform. They have no chance of making the team. But
wait, one quick thing: Keon Johnson was in the league for more than 3 seasons.
Keon Johnson was on a 2-way though. That's why.
That's what it was. Okay, thank you. Because was Dariq? No, Dariq was not on a 2-way last year.
No, he was the first. Yeah,
they just sent him down to Long Island. Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing the same names everybody are. I want to see Igor. I want to see Tyson Etienne. I want to see him get some burn, but I want to see the rookies. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see them on the court together. And I want to see Caleb Daniels too. That's a player. There's some players I want to see play. Grant Nelson, obviously one of them, the unsigned, the undrafted free agent. There's some names I want to see. And then of course there are some names that you're just filling out a roster with, like DeAndre Davis. There is no chance he's making the team, but
Quincy Olivari.
Yeah,
all these different guys. I mean, Tyson Etienne's really interesting. I think it was a significant mistake to give him a two-way contract this early. He's a guy who, what the Nets did last year is they took a lot of guys from Long Island who were thriving, brought them up to Brooklyn, see what could happen, just mixing and matching the rotations to see if you could string together some wins. Etienne was one of those guys. He played 7 games in Brooklyn, was an awful shooter, didn't really show much defensively, gave you 7 points a night. I don't like the fact that the Nets have 2 of their 3 two-way contracts tied up in Tosani Woma and Tyson Etienne. That doesn't make too much sense to me, Gary.
They obviously see something. I didn't see it. I'm with you. Tyson Etienne looked terrible last year. Yeah. Horrible. So what do they see in him? He's showing you something that we didn't see on the court, but he only played 7 games. I'm not gonna go crazy over that. But you're right. It was very bad. Like, in between him and Maxwell Lewis, who was better?
Maxwell Lewis.
All right. We're not even close. Like, that was really bad last year. So they see. So that's why I want to see him again. Show me. What am I supposed to see? I'm like, what's he good? Yeah. Like,
my point is, like, let him show it in the summer league. Don't give him a two-way spot right away.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
The way I think of two-way contracts is you want 3 guys who can actually step in and give you some value on an NBA court. And when I look at the roster, I think those 3 guys are Drew Timme, on the Summer League roster. Drew Timme, Grant Nelson, and I'll give it to Grant Nelson, and then I'm blanking on his
the third spot. Let him fight for it. Whoever earns the third spot earns the third spot. But Drew Timme, Grant Nelson are 2 spots.
Killian Hayes, I don't even think is no longer with the Lana.
Yeah,
he's no longer with the Nets. Like, he was a guy who I think should have been on a two-way if retained. The guy I was thinking of who I think should be on a two-way is Tyrese Martin. I just don't know how he fits in Brooklyn right away. And it doesn't make sense how he's not on the Summer League roster, Gary. He's one of the guys you picked up as team option, didn't really show much over the course. What do you think the thought process here is not putting Tyrese Martin on the Summer League roster?
I don't know if he's eligible to be on the.
He hasn't been in the NBA.
He hasn't, right?
No, he hasn't been in the league for three. He hasn't been in the league for 3. Let's see, Tyrese Martin, is he?
He's been around. Yeah, okay, he hasn't.
He's played 2 NBA. He's played 2 NBA seasons. Yeah.
My guess is they have their decision made on Tyrese Martin, right? Like, they've already made up their mind. They don't need to see any more. And I get it. Like, Tyrese Martin can shoot. He can handle the ball a little bit. They don't like. We know what we have in him, and now we just have to decide whether or not what we see in any of these guys is better than that. Is he on the roster? We don't need to see any more. We know what he is. Like, that's kind of my guess on how they feel about Tyrese Martin. But I would like to have seen Tyrese Martin play in the summer league.
Yeah, Terry Roberts there at the top of the list. He has an interesting story. He was shot a few years ago, and he still played for Long Island a bunch of games last season. He's an interesting name to potentially look at. Gary, how much stock are you going to put into the rookies' performances? Because you want to see the rookies in the black and white. I'm not putting too much stock into it personally because I'm not. If Yegor Demon wins Summer League MVP, I'm not signing off on the fact that was the best possible pick the Nets could have made. It's like, it's good to see these guys in uniform, but you don't want to put too much confidence into their performance.
No, you want to see them play well, but if they play well, I'm not going to be enamored by it, like Jalen Wilson. And if they play terrible, I'm not going to be bummed out about it. It's the Summer League, right? It's a developmental thing. I'm not, it is. You want to see him play well, but I'm not going to – it's like spring training. I'm not going to put so much stock into it. Like preseason games in the NFL, it's like I'm not that worried about it.
Definitely. All right, appreciate you all tuning in. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Gary and Connor right here with you on a Saturday edition of the Brooklyn Boys Show. Get your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. We'll open up to you guys for now the remainder of the show. Down Under Dunker, he says where is he? He goes, Gary, would you swap Kuminga for Cam T? Straight swap. We'll say here, assuming Kuminga signs 4 years, $100 million. Cam Thomas gets 1 year, $18 million.
I guess so. Because I feel like if I get Kuminga 1 year, $18 million, I'm going to lose him anyway. Like, so I'm not going to compete
Cam
this year.
Cam Thomas.
I'm sorry. Yeah. What did I say?
You said if you got Kuminga 1 year.
Oh, if I got Cam Thomas for 1 year, $18 million, he's gone at the end of the year anyway. So I might as well trade him. Would I trade Kuminga for Cam Thomas? It depends on the rest of my roster. Right now, it'd be rough for the Nets to do that for the reasons that you named. If I had another scorer, if I had an all-star caliber player on my team, I would make that trade. Right now, for the situation the Nets are in, Connor is. I was about to call you Dylan. Connor is right. The Nets would be so horrible. There's no offense. It's just going to look like last year when they're just passing the ball, 3-point hunting around the perimeter. It's like this is painful. I can't watch this. Yeah.
And I really like Kuminga. I'm not, but again, what I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm not overpaying for a guy who I don't know how he fits into my rotation. Because you really, if Kuminga comes on this team today, Gary, where does he fit?
It's going to be interesting with him and Porter because I guess those are your forwards, right? I don't care who you want to call the 3 and who you want to call the 4, but you're starting Porter and Kuminga at the 3-4, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then you don't have a 2. It's a really weird roster fit.
Yeah, absolutely. The way the starting lineup that I want to see today is Yegor Demon, Cam Thomas, Michael Porter Jr. I'd say Porter can run the 3. I think that's fair. I feel confident with Porter running the 3 or the 4. I put Clowney at the 4 and Claxton at the 5. I mean, I want to see Sharp at the 5, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I want to see Sharp at the 5 too. I want to see Sharp at the 5, and then I want to see Clowney at the 4, and I want to see Wolf be the backup 4 and 5 to see how he looks at the 4 and 5. And I don't want Claxton to be here. And it's no offense to Claxton. Thank you for your service. You've been a good net. I appreciate it, but I don't want him here anymore. And that's what I'm saying.
Timeline.
Yeah. What if? Does Golden State want anything to do with Claxton? I give you Claxton.
I mean, who's their center right now? I mean, they're Kevin Looney.
They got it, but they need a center. That's we've talked about on my show. We've talked about a potential trade for him to Golden State before this, right? What would that look like? But I mean,
that could be something to monitor.
I'll give you Claxton. I'm still not giving you a first round pick. You're not getting. I don't know. I'm not giving you a first round pick for Kuminga and Claxton. I'm not giving you both.
Would you do Claxton? So you wouldn't do Claxton in a first for Kuminga?
Wow. What? Not this year. Not my 2026. Not this year's first. No shot. I'm not trading this. I'm not
say a
2028.
Yeah, 2028, one of those later picks that
we got a bunch of picks. Maybe. I 2028, 2029. We got a bunch of picks those years. I'd probably do it.
The 2029 pick is going to be someone my age. Someone who's in my grade right now will be selected by the Nets with that 2029 pick.
It's wild.
It's wild. It's insane. That's what I said. That was the pick in the Kyrie trade that I think they got. They got the 2029 first in the Kyrie trade. So I was like, someone in my grade is going to be that pick.
You graduate 2028?
Wait, no. I'm at the 2030 pick. It's going to be my grade. I graduated 29. Yeah, but still, the age. The grade that's 1 year older than me, someone in that grade will be selected with the 2029 first round pick.
I would do Kuminga and a 2029 pick. I mean, Claxton and a 2029 pick for Kuminga. I would.
So then you'd see Sharp as the center. You'd have Day'Ron Sharp as your starting center. Who would you have as your power forward? Would it still be Clowney?
Well, no. At this point, I mean, we just got Kuminga, right?
Yeah. So Kuminga would be your 4.
And then Porter's a 3.
Cam
Thomas is
Cam
2.
And Yegor.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's.
You could.
You got something. I mean, I don't know if it's a playing team yet, but it's moving in that direction. It's not. Yeah. It's not a terrible.
I'm an optimistic Nets fan right now. Yossi yesterday looked at me crazy when I said the Nets have the potential to be a playing team this season.
I mean, if they really want to go for it, because there's going to be a lot of teams tanking again. I think the Celtics are going to miss the playoffs. I still think Indy's going to make the playoffs, but let's say Indy really lets off the gas. I mean, we want to try to get a pick. We're getting Halliburton back. We want to get a pick. Maybe they let off the gas and they want to be in the lottery. It might just be a numbers game. There's so many teams tanking. If the Nets win 35 games, they get into the play-in. You know what I'm saying? 35 and 42, they're in the play-in. They're better than the Bulls, let's say, or something like that, and they just get in.
we were doing this with the OC yesterday. OC was listing all these teams. You think they're better than the Wizards?
Yeah, I think the Wizards are awful.
Completely agree. Better than the Hornets?
No, not roster wise. They may win more games than the Hornets.
I said I think the Hornets are better, but the Nets could be up to par.
I think the Hornets have a better roster, but the Nets played better together. So, like, could the Nets win more games than the Hornets? 100% they could.
Also, you just got rid of your starting center. Like, yeah. There are a lot of moving pieces there, 1,000%. Let's see. Lucid, I just want to see rookies and Grant Nelson. Completely agree. Even a guy like Grant Nelson, if he comes out and thrives, he's pushing someone off the roster. Like, I think if he comes in and thrives, there's a chance we could see, and Danny Wolf struggles. You think there's a chance we could see Danny Wolf on Long Island to kick off the season?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I mean, he was our
I would be like if you can get Grant Nelson on a two-way and like start him off on Long Island, that's I think the ideal scenario here.
I think so too.
And then he comes up if there's an injury to Wolf, Clowney, Sharp, or Claxton in that sense. Because Nelson's 6'10". I wouldn't consider him much of a center, but he could certainly run the 4, and if need be, he could play. I mean, Zaire Williams, who's 6'9", played the 5 last season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we like to use small lineups. We still think it's 2019, 2020. We like to use these small ball lineups. We know they don't work, but, like, I mean, they're fun to watch. I mean, yeah.
Zaire's only got to play 5 positions in the NBA last year. All 5 positions. Like, you need that guy back on your team. So I'm really happy they got him.
I'm glad he's back, too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome LA says, okay, 50% from 3 is crazy. Obviously, that was a hyperbole. He's referring to Yegor Demon's 3-point percentage. I was joking there. I feel like if Yegor Demon gets over 35% from 3, I'll be happy, and I think we have a start. If he gets to 33, 34, like that range, he's a good player, in my opinion. Like I'm still big on the fact that to be an elite point guard in the NBA, you need to be able to shoot the ball.
To be an elite point guard, yeah, and like that's the big question. Like that's the $1 million question for Yegor is, can he shoot? If he can shoot, I think he's going to be a really good player. If he can't shoot, he's a backup point guard, right? Like, I mean, that's how vital being able to shoot at a decent clip is. Like he can go from being really good to being a rotational guy. You know, doing what Ben Simmons did last year. It's like people say like they wanted a high end pick. This is a high ceiling pick. It's got a ceiling and a floor on it. This is a risky pick. It could work, and I think it will. They obviously are enamored with Yegor. Hopefully they're right. Because if he's not and he can't shoot, what we went through last year was for naught. It's like a complete waste.
No point. And you got the pick too, so throw that in there as well. I don't mean to get off track here, but did you see the Knicks are interested in Ben Simmons?
I did see this. You can have.
I honestly don't think it would be the worst thing in the world for the Knicks. Anyone can call me crazy. I think the Knicks, like if Ben Simmons able to stay healthy, he wouldn't be the worst thing that happened in the Knicks. They need a depth piece who could defend, who could dish the ball out, who could collect rebounds. Like I think Ben Simmons would actually fit in kind of nicely with what the Knicks are trying to do.
Yeah, it's as the player, I think he holds value. It was just like he had a $40 million contract or whatever. He doesn't hold that much value. And
like if you get him on like a little above the vet minimum, especially
vet minimum. He doesn't play much. You know, he's not. I can't see him getting more than that because he's never healthy. He's never on the court. So I see him
20 games last season, yeah.
Vet minimum. If the Knicks get him on a vet minimum, I think it's a good contract.
Simon T, why do you like Kuminga? He's not good.
You want me to answer?
yeah, you go in. Cause I'm okay with Kuminga. Like I think he has a ton of upside, but I'm not as big of a Kuminga fan as you are.
He's an athlete. He can score. He can create. He can defend multiple positions. He's actually a Sean Marks type of guy if he can shoot a little better. But the athleticism and the ability to score and get to the hole, he's physically strong. Just checking boxes of a basketball player, like you know, the God-given things you'd want a basketball player to have. He has all of them.
Yeah, definitely. I get that, and you pay guys based on what they can be. Like a younger player like Kuminga, who's still up and ascending, you pay him based on his potential and the upside that he brings to the table. So I understand what you're saying there 1,000%. Lou says, Connor, stop wasting your time on YouTube. Go out and get ready to be a net. Don't worry about shooting. Just learn to pass the ball. Valuable insight here from Lou. Well, I play a little, not too competitively. Like I play for my school, and then I play for like a rec league. I could I'm not. I actually known for being a passer. Like I can pass, I can shoot the three ball a little bit. If the Nets ever need me, I'm more than happy to come in and try out at the HSS training center.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's just a trade right away. You could be there. You could be there. Be there in an
Yeah.
hour.
Did I tell you about the time where I was at the game and Tosani Woma missed 7 threes in a row during shoot around?
No, no.
Yeah. He was standing right on the 3-point line. He missed 7 threes in a row.
That's not an encourage. I mean, he's not a shooter.
Yeah, and he's on a 2-way contract right now. A little troubling. I don't get him on a 2-way. Like he might be. I don't think he can average 20 in the G League. That's my take.
No, he can't average 20. No, definitely not. No, I don't think he could average. There's I could name a bunch of leagues he couldn't average 20 in for sure. Like, if for him to average 20, he'd have to go back to high school. He's not a scorer. Like I'm not trying to dump off the guy, but yeah, it's 20.
He actually came from. He went to Princeton, so he came from like a really small.
He probably didn't average 20 there, right?
We can
14, 15 probably. We'll look it up real quick. I just can't see him. I guess against the Ivy League guys, maybe could get 20.
Let's see. Did he average 20? Tosani Woman. He averaged 15, 16 his final 2 years and 3 his first year.
Yeah, so I just not a guy that can. He's not gonna score a bunch of points. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Lou's comment at.
Where is it?
Lou's kind of the most recent comment that Lou made about Kuminga being a Sean Marks guy.
Kuminga is not a Sean Marks type guy. He weighs more than 210 pounds. Yeah, he also his legs aren't made of twigs, so
he does
hamstring 6 times a year.
Sean Marks does like the guys that have like the swimmers' bodies, like the skinny, thin. Yeah, long, skinny.
Skinny guys who get injured every single night. That's
he does. Yeah.
Who Sean Marks is enamored with. Orion says it's time to give MPJ minutes and build his value up, then trade him. Thoughts here, Gary?
I don't think we're trading. If you can, I mean, look, I think there's a trade market for everybody. If you give me the right trade, I'll trade him. But I've said this before. I think Michael Porter. I mean, look, if the right trade comes along, if Denver calls up and says we'll give you Joker if we get MPJ back, okay. But like realistically, I think MPJ is going to be here. I think the Nets value him. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to average over 20 points a game this year. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I said before, I think he's going to be here longer than Cam Thomas is going to be here.
Do you think if Cam Thomas and MPJ are able to combine for 50 points per game on average, the Nets will be a playing team?
Yeah, I mean, that would depend on the efficiency. But if they both give you 25, let's say,
yeah,
the Nets are going to do some damage for sure.
There we go. Yeah. Benny B says Danny Wolf and Ben Saraf are the 2 most NBA ready. I'd honestly argue the opposite.
Like I agree with Danny Wolf. I don't know much about Ben Saraf. I wasn't that impressed with a little bit of highlights and tapes that I saw of him.
He's not great. He's a very, very raw player. I think the 2 most NBA ready players, in my opinion, are Traore and Drake Powell. Those are the 2 guys I think you could just slot into a starting lineup right away.
Drake Powell, because of his athleticism and his skill set, he's a shooter who's hyper athletic. It's like, okay, you can put him on an NBA court and he's going to be okay. But we'll see. I mean, defensively, is he ready? Is he going to get cooked? Is he going to look bad? He's an athlete, so he can defend, but does he know how to defend yet?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Yeah, I think the only rookie who starts this season, game 1, is Yegor Demon.
I agree.
Yeah, that's the main guy I think we can see starting. Awesome LA says, what about Luka Doncic? If you check his 3-point percentage, you'll see he's not elite from deep. Luka Doncic is a good 3-point shooter. I'm going to have it here. 38% last year, over 35. He's been over 35 pretty much every single year he's been in the league. 38.2 2 seasons ago. Like, Luka Doncic is a good 3-point shooter, Gary. He's not Curry good, but he can connect.
Yeah, he's not Curry. He's not Klay Thompson. I get it. But, like, a guy that's shooting a high volume amount of threes. That's what James Harden shot when James Harden was peak in Houston, like 35, 36%. You're launching a lot of grenades. You constantly have the ball in your hand. When the shot clock's at 2 and someone's got to launch up a horrible shot, it's going to be you. So, you're not going to shoot 40% like Steph Curry. I get it. But no, Luka's a good three-point shooter.
Luka,
Luka,
1,000% is a very, very good three-point shooter. Let's see. Range Rove comes in and says, I'm a former Nuggets fan who is now a Nets fan because of MPJ. So MPJ is making some Nuggets fans join the Range Rove. A lot of torture. I mean, this team's been in the NBA since 1976 it is, Gary, and no NBA championships.
No NBA championship.
I was talking about this last night. I'm a Rangers fan too, but I'm like a casual Rangers fan. I said, among my three main teams, the Mets, Nets, and the Jets, how many championships? I haven't seen one championship. How many championships will I see before I die? I said 4.
I would take 4 right now. I would take 1. I'm 41, and I haven't seen one yet.
I think I'll see combined 4 over. I think I see 2 World Series from the Mets. I think I see 1 championship from the Nets, and I think I get 1 Super Bowl while I'm laying on my deathbed from the Jets.
I would just take 1. I've been alive. I've been watching my team since I'm 5 years old. That's 36 years. I haven't seen 1 championship. Not 1. In 36 years. So that's 3 seasons.
You just missed 86 with the Mets?
Yeah, I was 3. I was 3. I didn't see it.
So you just – and you
88, they made the playoffs and lost to the Dodgers in Game 7 of the NLCS. That's my first memory of the Mets, 88.
Was that Mookie Wilson on that team?
I think Mookie was gone by then.
Okay.
They still had Straw. Greg Jeffries was the hot shot rookie. And he booted a ball in Game 7. And then, like, the Jets only got to the AFC Championship game twice. The Nets have been to the finals twice. But I haven't seen a championship. So, like, I'm already, like, halfway through. And I haven't got one yet. Like, I'd like to get 1. I'd prefer it to be the Nets, but at this point, I'll take the Mets.
Would you rather see a Nets NBA championship or a Jets Super Bowl?
Nets.
Really?
Nets are my baby. I love the Nets. I would take that over anything. Yeah.
I love the Nets too, but like a Super Bowl is just different.
I would take the Nets over, and unless you make this deal with me, it's the Mets, and they win the World Series every year, and every year they beat the Yankees. Then I'll take that.
That's correct. So you'd see anything to see 1 Nets championship.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
For the Nets to be champions of basketball, to be the world champions, that would be and
it'd be the first time. I get that.
It would be. They've only been out of the second round of the playoffs twice. They've only been to a conference finals twice with Jason Kidd in 2002 and 2003. They haven't been there since, and they weren't there before. Not in the NBA. The ABA, they won a bunch of championships, but in the NBA, they haven't been out of the second round of the playoffs but 2 times ever. Wow. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Insane. Ranger of MPJ can average 26 to 28 in Brooklyn effectively.
Let's go.
Hopefully, I'd say more. Like, I think he's gonna get you. I think he can average 20 a game because he averaged 16 a game last year as a third option. He's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot this season, especially if Cam Thomas misses, a handful of games.
He's gonna average over 20 for sure. 26, 20. That's a lot. Yeah. Can we say 22? I would probably
26, 28 is like Shea numbers.
If you took 21, he said 21 and a half is the over under. I might take the over on 21 and a half. 25 and a half, I'm taking the under, but 21 and a half, I might take the over.
That's certainly a discussion, 1,000%. Let's see, where are we in the chat? MPJ needed 20 shots a night. He's been more efficient than Murray his entire career. MPJ averaged about 23, 24 this past season when Joker doesn't play. I just think he needs the ball in his hands. I mean, this guy was a third option on a championship team just a few years ago. I think he could develop into a great piece for Brooklyn, undoubtedly. But thank you for tuning in, Range Rover, and we appreciate all you tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe. We're going to wrap up here soon, so last chance to get your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Find Gary and his amazing work at the BK Nothing But Nets podcast. Gary, again, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Let everyone know where they can find you again. You got any final thoughts? You could share those right now.
I keep saying it. Michael Porter Jr. is going to be here for real. I think there's a very good chance he's here beyond 2 years and that he's a net for a long time. I think that's how much they like him. Follow me, BK Nothing But Nets podcast. We gotta get you on again, Connor. We got to work. So I gotta get you on. Is League saying that Michael Porter Jr. is a fourth option? Is that?
I think he's saying he was the fourth option on the championship team.
Oh, fourth option on championship. Okay, I got you.
Well, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic.
Aaron Gordon is the other one.
People are going to say he could have been the third option. Like,
that's an incredible team. Like, yeah. I thought they were going to go on a run. I thought they were going to be in the finals every year. It hasn't worked out that way. It's tough to win in the NBA. It's tough.
Definitely. You think MPJ is going to be the second most efficient player on the team this season, behind Cam Thomas?
The most efficient?
Yeah. Do you think he, like, from a shooting standpoint?
I think he's going to be the most efficient player on the team. Yeah, Cam Thomas isn't overly efficient. From an efficiency standpoint, Michael Porter Jr. is tough to beat. The guy shoots 50-40 every year.
All right. I mean, what did he shoot? He shot like 39% from 3-point range last season.
He's had years where he's like 55 and 40. He's a really, really efficient. Now, he's in an ideal situation in Denver, so his efficiency probably will go down with the Nets. But he's a really efficient scorer.
Absolutely. MPJ in Brooklyn, you hope that that's a long-lasting relationship and MPJ is able to make some noise in the Barclays Center this season. Appreciate you all as always. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. We are back tomorrow, I think later show, 9 p.m. EST with Gary's co-host, Dylan of Nets Press, who joins us tomorrow. So certainly stay tuned for that. Appreciate you all. Appreciate all your kind words and support right here on this Saturday morning. Have a great day, everyone. And as always, go Nets.